thought that was funny. And so, who is the top three players in the bubble? Okay. And we asked you guys who was your MVP of the bubble. We both, KP and I both have an MVP, but we wanted to extend it out a little bit to our top three players. And do you want to go ahead and get to start with who do you have at number three?
Yeah, so my number three player, and there's a little bit of logic to this, so don't, crucify me once I say this, but I have Devin Booker as my number third or my number three player, only because his team is not in a position right now to be in the playoffs. But this dude, I mean, I, I've said this a little bit, like, I can't believe how much he's matured as a leader on and off the court to keep his team together. And like, I don't even know, a month ago, I couldn't name more than two players in the Suns. It was DeAndre Ayton and it was Devin Booker. That was the only people I could name. But he's making, all these players that are on his team, he's giving them a name and a reason
Mm-hmm.
to play, averaging 31 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists. I mean, kudos to you, man. Honestly, great play.
Fair enough. My number three is right now Luka Doncic. Okay. Averaging a triple double in this 8 games since return. And he's had two of the craziest stat lines I think you'll ever see. I mean, 36 points, 19 assists, 14 rebounds. And then another one was 34 points, 12 assists, and 20 rebounds. Doing it all for his team. I like Luka as number three because his team was already in the playoffs. He's also sat a couple of games, or sat a game and then missed some halves. So I don't put him as my MVP because he has moved down, but he's definitely played enough to be necessarily considered that, or like as far as he's played or he's done enough to be in there. But I think my two above that I'll go into, which I'll go ahead and start with my number two, and
Go ahead.
as my number two is Damian Lillard.
Yeah. Yep.
Just going nuts. I mean, with the cherry on top of 61 points last week against the Mavs in a must-needed win game, shows up, destroys 61 points. He's brought his team, which I'm assuming they're going to beat the Nets tonight, to a 6-2 record to steal the 8th seed from Memphis. He's also had 3 games with 45 or more points, doing it all for his Trailblazers to get them into the playoff spot. And I think I think Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers will take that 8th seed, and that is my number two.
Yeah, and I got number two as Damian Lillard too. I mean, he's averaging 37 points a game. He's their team's best all-around player. Everything that they need from him to win. I mean, he's got it. He said he first player in NBA history with 45 or more points, 10 or more assists, and 10 or more made threes in a game. That's unreal numbers. I mean, that was a 61-point game. Little side fact, just so everyone knows, too, if you go to adidas.com and you want some cheap shoes, all of Damian Lillard's shoes right now are worth $61 because of his 61-point game. I
Nice.
ordered a pair. Just saying. But that's your shoe plug for the day from
There you go. I didn't know that. That's cool. All right, who you guys number one?
It's not really a surprise. I mean, Luka Doncic.
Is your MVP?
He is. Okay. The thing about it is he's averaging a triple-double, obviously, okay? His team was already in the playoffs, so I see what your point is about him sitting halves and things, and, you can't give him a higher status because of that. Whatever. I think that when he was playing for his team and he's doing all these, drive, kick passes, he always knows where his players are at, always. Like, you think about, how much it would take to replace him and who else, could replace him with on the team. Nobody is replacing that stat line and no one's replacing that court vision. And definitely nobody's doing all of that. He's on another level right now. The Clippers are not going to be worried about him because they'll put a long defender on him. They'll mix up Kawhi and Paul George and Pat Bev and whoever else on him. But this dude, I mean, he just played so well during the bubble, and he got to sit, rightfully so, because they couldn't move up or down in the playoffs. So It is what it is. But I got Luka as MVP. Who do you have?
My MVP is the one I've been shitting on all this time, is Devin Booker. I mean, he's done everything to try to prove me wrong. Obviously, he's trying to prove me wrong specifically because he cares about what I think. But he's had 4 35-point games, including a 35-point game where he scored the game winner over Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
Like, doing everything he possibly can to get his team to the playoffs. He literally went 8-0. He couldn't do any more than what he did. I mean, I know that everything you just said about Luka is completely correct, but without Devin Booker, these 8 games, the Suns are not where they are. Period.
Yeah.
Like, you're not.
Agree.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's willing his team to wins. Like, barely beating the Mavs, barely beating the Clippers, on his back. Like, this guy is, in my opinion, the clear MVP of this. He's made it interesting in the West of who's going to take the 8th seed. He's made it interesting in the West of watching a team go 8-0. They're the only team to go 8-0 in this in this comeback, like in the return rather. So I think Devin Booker is the clear MVP in my mind. While I do respect Dame and Luka, what they've done is Devin Booker is on another level right now, and he's done everything he possibly could.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like his run is just, I agree. It's insane. Like we could talk about Devin Booker all night, honestly. Like,
what he's done
we
is
can watch his
incredible.
highlights. Yes. Yeah.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.